has a quiet, oh, has a quiet, oh, has a quiet.
Hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode, this here finale of Diesel Punks. I am Savvy, your master of ceremonies, and we're here to tell the rest of our story and play Apocalypse World. And it's gonna be real rowdy and exciting. I'm very excited to be doing it. So if you're here with us live, thank you so much. I hope you're as excited as we are, because I am raring to go. Or if you're later on with us on YouTube, that's okay too. We're glad you're here. Before we get started, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our wonderful sponsors that we have for this season here on Encounter Roleplay. We've got Mage Hand Press. We've talked about their Kickstarter before for their Dark Matter starter kit. You can see an adventure from that kit, Conspiracy in the Stars, on the Encounter Roleplay YouTube channel. It's all there. It's rad. You should watch it. Check it out. We've got Helmgast and their modern horror tabletop game, Cult Divinity Lost. You can see that here on Wednesdays and on YouTube as well, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday evenings. Modifius, who make a bunch of games, and they're all very good. They've got Star Trek Adventures, which is also here. It's been here for a while on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. They do Tales from the Loop. They do Dishonored, all kinds of really cool stuff. So check them out for sure. And then World Anvil, where you can find a bunch of information about a lot of the shows that are featured on the channel this season. It's great for everybody. I always do a list: writers, world builders, GMs, players, and viewers like you. It's great. There's tons of good stuff there. It's a great resource. Check it out. And those are our sponsors. If you're here with us live right now and something happens that you really enjoy, make a clip of it and then post it in the Discord server. You can join the Encounter Roleplay Discord. We have a lot of fun over there. It's a great place to be. If you post your clip there, you could be Clip of the Week. We pick a clip every week that we think is great and we highlight it, and it could be yours. And also, I just really love to watch them, so please post them and send them to me. And then also, if you are with us later on YouTube, leave a comment below about something that you enjoyed, something you thought was particularly well done or funny, or a moment you liked, or just tell us that you like us. That's okay too. But we also pick a comment of the week every week, so that could be yours. If you are, hi chat, here with us live right now, there are several ways you can influence our game today. We have our live tweet that is out right now. Hit that retweet button, because once we hit 20 retweets, I'll hand out an auto success to one of my wonderful players here. Some of them have a couple still. Those are really great and fun and make things narratively complicated for me, but fun all the same. But at 20, we'll get an auto success. At 30 retweets, we'll hand out an auto fail, also very fun. And then on, cycling through. We also have a sub goal. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you can. We've got extra stuff because it is still September. We're on the tail end of September. If we meet that goal for every 5 subs we get, we will have a surge of the Psychic Maelstrom, and the poisons will make things even more chaotic than they already are. And it's awesome. We really appreciate that. And then in addition, every sub this month, you get to give a free crit, fail, or success to a player of your choice. And then you can donate to the channel as well and get all kinds of exciting stuff like pets, which we already have 2 of. I don't know that we need a 3rd one, but I'm sure everybody would be very, very grateful to have another pet. And some other stuff too, boons and banes and all that good stuff if you donate, if you were so inclined. So yeah, that is enough talking from me, because you're going to hear a lot more of it in just a moment. I'm going to let my wonderful cast here introduce themselves, tell you who they are and where you can find them, and who they are playing today in this her finale. So we can start with Rob and go up to Marlo and go around.
Hey, that's me. I'm Rob, or bonus stage Rob, or bonus_stage_Rob, depending on where you look for me on the internet. You can find me here for one last ride as Liv, the heart holder. She rough, she tough, she don't take no guff. Most importantly, she buff. And things are about to get rough. Wait, I already said rough. Take it away from me, please.
I am Marlo. You can find me at Marlo Bogwitch on Twitter. That's it above. If you need help with spelling, because, you know, I gotta be a little weird with the spelling. I am playing Sedona. She is the Hocus. She is a sort of southern evangelical cult leader, and she's not doing too well right now. Her pride's a little hurt, so we have to see how that ends up. But yeah, so excited to be here for the finale.
Greybeard Tavern, and I'll be playing Morii today. He's a faceless who wears a ceramic mask of his mother, and generally causes mayhem wherever he goes. And of course, on to his beloved Mercury.
And breaks through walls like he broke through to Mercury's heart. I am Lydia. I'm Half-Rest Hermit. I am playing the Brainer, and I am looking forward to this finale because I just found a sister that may not be a very nice sister, but I can't wait to see what happens.
All right. And you know me. Let us do our beginning of session stuff. We are going to highlight some stats. Get those character sheets. Let's start with Liv. Who has the highest history on your sheet?
If I remember correctly, and I do, it is a 3-way tie because I rolled over with everybody.
Ooh. Oh, that's right. All right, let's have everybody roll a d6, and we'll do the highest two. Okay, so we'll do Sedona and Mercury.
We're gonna have a battle, so I'm gonna go for hard.
I think I'm going to go with cool.
Woo! Thank you.
Nice. All right, let's get Sedona.
Yes. Whomst today?
Whomst.
That would be Morii. Whomst is the highest. Morii.
Okay.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Then I shall try again. Preach it to me, sister. Go with weird.
Weird.
I'm gonna say hard. For Sedona. All right. Morii. Let's see who I have pulled up next.
It is Mercury.
Okay.
With Marie.
Well, we're going with hard as well in this case.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say sharp for you today.
All right. We'll try to pull that off.
And Mercury.
It is a tie between Morii and Sedona.
Okay.
Ladies first.
Weird. Now you have to do the thinking. Haha.
If it was any situation but this one, we'd probably go with hot. But let us hit up cool. Act under pressure.
Awesome. All right, that is that. I promised last time that because Rob rolled so well, you wouldn't have to spend barter this time, and I did write it down, so we're gonna stick to that. And let us have our hard holder. You rolled for wealth, yes?
I did, and I also remembered that thing that you said last week. And also wrote it down.
You guys just don't have to spend barter at the beginning of the session. You're welcome. What you got for wealth?
So I got a partial. So I am going to say we're going to go very thematic right now. Violence is our surplus. When your people are in surplus, they celebrate, quote unquote, by going on violent rampages. So I'm hoping they fight with a little more oomph when defending our home. However, want, I'm gonna say desertion. When your people are in want, they dish out on you. Figure on losing 10 to 15% per period of want. So maybe we have some fighters, maybe we have some deserters, because I don't know how this is gonna go down. But I figured I would stick with the theme of the evening.
That makes sense to me. All right, that is that. I mentioned this before, but just as a reminder to you guys, since it's the last session, we're playing kind of fast and loose with advancements. So if you hit 5 XP and you have a move in mind or a stat you want to up, just go for it. You don't have to wait. Don't have to ask me. I wanted to highlight stats anyway because I think it's fun. So if you get that XP, go for it. Spend it. It's gonna be wild. Okay. I think that's all our starting stuff. So let us begin. Your story began simply. A successful trip to salvage an old radio station about a week ago. Your time. When word began to very quickly spread of your success, you were approached by another hardholder, Prosperity, of Pinnacle, who wanted what you had. When you turned her down, she retaliated, attacking your home, kidnapping your only doctor. You struck back, sabotaging their generators, and in turn, it continued to spiral. Rather than hit you directly again, Prosperity instead took the radio station by force. With her forces split, she was vulnerable. You all returned to Pinnacle, saving Dr. Dwight, killing Prosperity, and taking her prophet, Aurora, home with you. With the new arrival, strange things began to happen around the assembly line, and the drama has come to a head a few days later when a caravan arrived at your front gate, led by Prosperity. Somehow. So you all stand currently atop the wall around the assembly line with Aurora, looking down at this woman that you thought you were rid of. Liv put the bullet in Prosperity's head herself, but she is here. She stands there, clothes immaculate as always, but scarred and strange looking. A green glow emanates from her eyes and the wounds that you left her with, including the bullet hole still in her forehead. So she has gotten out of her car. She looks up at you, a twisted smile on her face, and waves. What do you want to do?
So you don't stay dead.
Seems that way.
Another gift from your prophet, then.
Who's to say? So,
You, I'm asking you. So
It would be you. Yeah, I mean, if we're being honest.
Aurora, sweetie, let's go home.
So hang on. So all you want is your kid back, and you're gonna leave us alone?
If you want that to be the deal.
I mean, let's just I'm gonna have a quick sidebar with my people. Just give me a moment for a second. And Liv is gonna hop down off the wall, and she's gonna go up to Mercury and be like, all right, I have no intention of giving that crazy bitch back this poor girl. This is,
Okay.
I mean, what do you think? Do you think that makes sense?
Well, she's just gonna redo what she was going to do anyway. I'm very happy you're not going to give her back the kid because I was gonna slap you. But Aurora,
Yeah?
do you want to go back with her?
No.
Well, I
No.
don't think she'll just go away. I mean, you know what she's like.
Yeah, but I mean, Aurora's a hell of a lot more powerful than she is. Sans apparently coming back to life.
Yeah, she's never done that before.
Maybe she'll not do
Did
it
your-
again.
Did your ability have anything to do with it? Do you know?
No, I didn't do this one.
Well, have either of you seen anything like it? Sedona, you included. Have you seen anything like it? I mean, y'all deal with the poison the most out of any of us.
No,
And-
but she said she didn't do this one. Does that mean she's done other ones?
Can we just kill her for good this time? I'm really annoyed by her.
Believe me, I tried. I put a lot into the bullets I put in her.
Maybe cut the head off.
How
Maybe
do you-
just cut her apart. Make it really gory, like a finger over there, and the head over here, and the feet somewhere in the toxic river down north, up north.
Sounds like a great job for you and Moria.
Yeah, I was gonna say, big guy, you feeling thirsty?
How would he respond? I guess he'll be like, oh. He just
That's a
growls.
yes.
I assume that means yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah. It's
All right. Liv is gonna take her. She's gonna take her radio and just communicate with Tesla. I need you to have every weapon trained on this bitch and her people. And how many, dear Keeper, would you say, or I'm sorry, MC, would you say of this bitch's people would there be?
She doesn't have too many people with her right now. She has obviously her car and whoever is driving it, and she has 2 other larger trucks with her. But it's not any sort of like huge force.
Okay. Yeah, so I think she would communicate with Tess that it's go time, and that on her signal you just light them up. I've had enough of this.
Okay. She gives you an affirmative, starts barking out orders, and you see people starting to sort of move around within the hold, grabbing guns and weapons and things like that, and getting ready.
You know, battle stations, Moria, you might want to lead with the oh yeah thing. We could patch up the wall. And she's going to climb back up on the wall. Say, well, after a very diplomatic intermediary, we have come to a conclusion, if you'll hear it.
All right.
Get bent, prick. And she's just gonna raise her hand up in the air, flip her off, and just jump back down from the wall.
Okay.
And
Order of
that was the signal.
operations
If it wasn't,
here.
yeah, that was the signal, by the way.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're gonna fire. Moriai is going to bust through the wall.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll for. Oh, yeah.
And I think I can just push this button right there. Did it roll it?
Heck yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Great. So you do it. Is there any particular stipulations for this one, or you just.
No, it literally says, on a 10, the scenery is moved or smashed, and you get what you want.
Okay. What you want is to be right now on the other side of the wall without having to go around. So you'll hear this yell from Moriai as he just sort of shoulders juggernaut style straight through the wall, leaving a hole in it. As at the same time, a rain of bullets starts to fall. Go ahead and hit me. No, don't. This is suckering someone. I don't think that she expected you to just have everyone fire on her at once. So yeah, when you attack someone unsuspecting, you can't miss. So just a hail of bullets, this loud, just like popping of gunfire starts to go off, sort of peppering the sides of her trucks. And you see a couple of bullets actually hit Prosperity herself, kind of knocking her backwards, hitting her in the shoulders. But she doesn't fall. And she stands there. She looks up at you and sort of cocks her head to the side, and then gets into her car and begins to try to leave. As from the other two trucks, you see people sort of popping out the windows and in the top firing back at you. What would you like to do?
I think I'm going to actually try to talk to them and make them lay down their arms with my lovely, lovely ability. Let me see what I can do.
Okay. Yeah, hit me.
I'm ready to back up if it doesn't work.
I think I'm going to use one of my auto crits here for this.
Oh, interesting. Okay. This is this Frenzy that you're using?
This is, I'm having trouble.
Let's see. When you speak the truth to a mob?
Yeah.
Yeah. There it
That's
is.
the one.
All right, so we'll call that a 12. That's a full success. So you have 3 hold you can spend to make them do stuff. What do you want them to do? And what do you say?
We are bringing the gods' hellfire down upon you, family. And like she does this, and then like to like make them put their weapons down, like just as a motion.
Okay. You all hear Sedona call out, and then sort of move her hands down in this forceful motion, and you see several of the people in these trucks wearing these gas masks just drop their guns. Moriai, you're on the other side of the wall. What would you like to do?
Morai, literally, he's been waiting for this, so he reaches in his scavenger bag, pulls the mortar shell, rips the pin out of it, smashes the butt end against his forehead, and then hucks the mortar shell like a football at her car.
Okay. This got very intense very quickly. Please roll me to go aggro on someone. This is the most
So-
aggro thing I can think of.
So just, because you never want to die with loaded gun, I'll spend a crit.
Y'all are wild now today. Okay, so we'll treat that as a 12. They have to force your hand and suck it up, or cave and do what you want, which I think what you want is them to die, which they don't want to do.
At least explode their car, so they drive
Okay.
away.
Yeah,
We're just murdering these people.
Yeah, you're just murdering a bunch of people, but that's fine. They tried to murder you, I think, too. So, Moria, you chuck the shell as hard as you can, and you see just as the car sort of fishtails in the sand, it smashes through the back window, and there is this huge explosion as the shell goes off in the back of the car, sort of ripping out the entire back of the car is just gone. Like it's not somewhere else, it's not separated, it's just gone. And the rest of the car sort of just like spins out as it kind of like flips forward end over end. Yeah, everyone in the trucks panics, and they start to sort of turn tail and try to drive away. Do you try to stop them?
Can I run up and use my hand grenade boom to half flavor it into the truck as well? Can I?
Yes.
Can I Negasonic Teenage Warhead, please? I don't know if
Sure.
it's enough because it's basically a hand grenade of stuff that only does one harm but ignores everything. The pain wave projector with the tattoos glowing, so I want to do a kind of double team with Moriai, where she where he just demolishes half that car, and as he's still sort of bent down, she kind of jumps over him, like uses his back to catapult herself into the air, and then have that burst of energy with a pain wave projector that is an area of effect situation. Armor piercing, loud, reload, high tech, one harm.
Okay, into one of the trucks.
Yeah, that's trying to drive
Great.
off.
Great. Hit me with a roll plus hard to go aggro on many someones, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, that's a 12. So yeah, they have to do the same. So yeah, you leaping over Mori, I let out this just blast, and it's very loud. You all hear it, and you can hear the like bending of metal as the door, one of the back doors of the truck is just like bent inwards, and the glass sort of shatters. And there is some yelling from inside the truck as they continue to try to drive away. They're moving pretty fast. Would you like to pursue them? Well, that's up to you.
Are we going full Mad Max?
I think Liv would grab a nearby vehicle and get the gates open and pick up Mercury and Moria. Go Mad Max.
Okay.
She would turn to Sedona before she does it and say, "Keep these punks in line and control the battlefield. I'm gonna try and gank the leader."
Sure thing.
Okay, so you leave Sedona in charge. Grabbing what are we driving here?
Just the the probably boop, 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 boop. Something like distinctly Mad Maxy, like the closest thing to an old like hot rod, essentially, that's just retrofitted with like just the plate shielding it, like spikes and everything. It's very typical, very unoriginal. We're doing it.
But
We're
it's
rolling with it.
But it's rad, is what it is.
But hey, it's a
so yeah,
classic.
you pull out in this classic sort of beefed out muscle car, swing by, fling the doors open. Moriai and Mercury.
Get in, losers. We're going headhunting.
You hop into the car, and Liv hits the gas. Okay. Now they have gotten a little bit ahead, so I'm going to have you roll to overtake another vehicle. So please roll plus cool for me. I'm going to play a little fast and loose with vehicle speeds comparatively, but your car is going to be faster than their trucks, so. All right.
That is
That-
a pair shall.
Okay, so for partial success, you can choose one of these options. You overtake them, but your vehicle is going to suffer harm. You don't overtake them, but you can drive them into a place you choose, or they outdistance you, but their vehicle suffers harm. What do you want to happen here?
I want a place we can choose. I want,
Okay.
some sort of a strategic dead end kill box situation where I can get up high with a rifle and help Moriai just juggernaut it, and
Okay.
Mercury just tear some brains apart.
All right, so we'll hit. You don't overtake them, but you can drive them into a place you choose. So with some finesse and some excellent driving, your car more easy to handle on the sands of the waste than these trucks. You start to essentially herd them in the direction that you want them to go, kind of forcing them off to the east, where you know you can run them into what is essentially a ravine. There is an area where it sort of slopes down, and there are these kind of like sloping like cliff walls on either side, so you can sort of get them in there so they have one direction to go, and when they hit the end of it, we'll see what happens. So the three of you in the car sort of drive off that way, and you see them heading sort of straight for this sort of narrow ravine. Gonna chase them into it. You chase them into it, and eventually you hear sort of the squealing of tires and this sort of crunching of brakes as the two trucks come to essentially the end where you have now boxed them in this narrow sort of ravine area. So they stop in front of you, your car sort of coming up very quickly behind them, blocking them in. What do you do?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna find cover and just start clicking heads with my rifle.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Do you want to stay in the car?
I'm so afraid of like something happening to it, but I got a radio. It's probably fine. Yeah, I'll use the car as cover.
Okay. You sort of ducking down behind the dash, opening the window. You start to fire upon them. Go ahead and roll me to go aggro. Wowzers, Bowsers. Okay. That's a 13.
Hasty, and I leveled up.
Nice. Start flipping through those advancements.
I'll think of one.
Excuse me. So yeah, you take out your rifle and you start to sort of fire expertly into the windows of the truck. Definitely, you can definitely see some blood spatter sort of come up across the windows that are left in this truck, and you hear sort of scrambling around on the inside as they begin to fire back upon you. How much harm do your gun do?
My gun I do believe it is... Oh gosh, where'd it go? Oh no, I want to say it's 3. Yeah, 3.
Okay. Yeah, so you definitely make a dent, and the rest of you hear bullets start to pepper off the plating on the outside of your car as they fire back. Liv taking cover under or behind the dashboard of the car. Moria and Mercury.
Mercury, if you do not mind, as the car was Liv was sliding the car sideways, Moriai would, he had been basically growling the whole time there, and then he just stops, goes silent, reaches over, and just kind of, with the cool ceramic mask, sets his lips to your cheek, and then says, "Let's finish this," and then just bursts out the side of the car towards the enemy, and headlong running at them with sword in hand.
Okay, you take off running across the battlefield. Thank you, Anna, for the subs. And that's 5, baby. You know what that means. Moriai. The ground begins to rumble under your feet as you take off through this hail of bullets. Please roll me plus cool to do something under fire.
Okay. All right. Scrolling. There it is. Partial.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, a worse outcome. You take off running and you feel that familiar. This has happened to you once before. The ground start to rumble under your feet and sort of following you and getting a little bit ahead of you. You see a crack starting to open up. If you continue through right now, you can get to them, and whatever is about to happen will probably provide enough of a distraction that they won't be able to shoot you right away, but you're going to get blasted and this is going to hurt. Or you can try to dive away from this, but you're not going to make it before they can react to you.
Either way, it sounds like it's going to hurt a lot, so I'm going to stick with the juggernaut bit, and just snarl and growl at the poison as it sprays out of the ground.
It's gonna get you. All right, as the poisons surge, you all see this crack open up, and this super heated cloud of this just nasty sort of greenish gray poison starts to spew out of the ground, and you lose sight of Moriai for a moment. So do the people in the trucks, fortunately for you, and you make it over. You're gonna take 2 harm. That is armor piercing.
Okay.
As you feel sort of on your exposed skin, this super hot smoke and steam sort of hit you and kind of burn at your skin, but you make it over to the trucks. I was looking at our crit successes. 1 crit success to everyone. Woo. From the subs. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. We love you out there. So Moriai, you all see this cloud start to fade, and Moriai is now charging up on these trucks. Mercury, what would you like to do?
What did we do with Aurora?
I assumed you left her with Sedona. Would you like to have done something else?
No, just double checking, because if she were with us, then I'd stay near her. But that's not the case.
Yeah, we'll say she's with Sedona. for better or for worse.
And prosperity is here as well. Just
you don't currently know where Prosperity is because Moriai blew her car in half, and so the sort of wreckage of that is still back near the assembly line. So you've got your 2 trucks of essentially her like goons right now.
cool. Then I'm gonna join Moriai in the bloodbath, pulling out the machetes. How do I never know how to fucking pronounce it.
Machetes?
Machetes
Yeah.
for you guys. I don't want to sound like Danny Trejo.
No, you're good.
And I'm gonna machete, don't text.
Machete.
And I'm gonna cut into whoever is trying to get to Moriai.
Hell yeah. All right. Okay, that is a partial success for the chopping. Let's see, what do they want to do? I'm gonna say right now we're on barricade themselves securely in. So yeah, you take off running with your machetes out. A couple of them have hopped out of the cars at this point and are attempting to deal with Moriai. You get to them quickly and take a swing. How much harm do your machetes do? I don't know why I'm asking. You're gonna kill them. I gave you 2 machetes.
Yeah, you did. Are you regretting it?
No, not one bit, because this is rad. You
3.
Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they're not that tough. You get to them in Moriai. You see Mercury sort of appear next to you, swinging her 2 machetes wildly, just cutting down one of these people that is in front of you. Just immediately 2 huge gashes across the chest as he falls. The rest of them are sort of scrambling to barricade themselves into the trucks so you can't get to them. We'll see how that goes for them. Liv, you're still hiding in the car.
I think at this point, when the advantage is clear, she's gonna walk up with the Magnum, and if she sees an opening, she'll just shoot somebody. At this point, she's just watching the experts work.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and you roll me to go aggro on someone, since they've tried to block themselves in. God, wow. Y'all are on fire. All right. So yeah, you from behind Moriai and Mercury start to fire the Magnum into the car when you can see movement sort of busting out the windows in one truck, Moriai in front of the other. I assume you want to, oh yeah, the truck.
Yeah, definitely just and then they flip the truck over so it can't go anywhere. I don't care about the people inside. We'll kill them eventually, but we just don't want them getting away at this point.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll me plus hard.
Right.
This has been just wild.
Oh, partial. So, what does a partial do? 7 to 9, you get what you want and smash or move the scenery, but I take 1 harm, armor piercing. Oh, that's not good in this case. Okay.
Woof. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say you're gonna be under fire here in a moment. So you all see Moriai sort of bear down and just with his own 2 hands flip this truck onto its side. It sort of lands, sort of crashing into the dirt and the dust. The people inside sort of panicking, but now the people that are left in the truck that Liv is firing into have turned their attention on you and are going to begin to fire upon you in a second. Are Are you all just going to continue to fire into the trucks until you've killed everyone? Because you have a
That
serious
look, Rob.
advantage right now. You have a serious advantage right now with one truck being on its side and the other truck having everyone inside it mostly dead. So if that's what you're gonna do, I don't think you're required to roll for
Liv's
it.
done trying to be diplomatic with these folks.
Gotcha.
If that's not clear.
All right, so we'll hit one last roll because Moriai is currently under fire as you move around to try to get to the people in this truck. Go ahead and roll me, Moriai, to do something under fire as everyone who is left starts to turn their attention to you and just desperately fire on you.
Oh.
And it doesn't go well.
I'll spend a crit because
Yeah?
I'm already really hurt.
Okay, all right, so we'll spend a crit. We'll treat that as a 12. So yeah, you do it. So they begin to fire upon you, and you sort of using the truck as cover, make your way around. And you and Mercury, with all of your very sharp blades, and Liv with the guns, manage to get in, use this moment to your advantage, and finish off the rest of them. A slaughter. While this is going on, Sedona. That's what I want. Liv has left you in charge. What are you using this opportunity to do? So essentially, you've got the trucks have driven off. You have the sort of smoldering remains of Prosperity's car a little ways out from the wall, and you have sort of Tesla and Sig scrambling the guards, and a few of them trying to quickly and patch up this hole that Moria has left in the wall, in case more of them show up. So what are you doing?
So I'm gonna turn to Tesla and say, get a small group together and go check that car out. See if there's anything important inside and see if there's any survivors. If there are, kill them.
All right. She nods and waves to a few people, and they head out through the gate to go check on the car. You see them head over, waving smoke away and everything, and she sends one of them to sort of poke around, look through what's left. You see the person she sent over sort of look for a moment, turn around, they exchange a few words, and then they head back to you. When she gets back, Tesla just kind of shakes her head. Nothing.
Was Prosperity's body in there?
No. So either there was nothing left, or you got a problem.
I turn to Aurora, who I assume is nearby somewhere. Or
Yeah,
look for her.
she's around. Yeah, she wouldn't have gone very far.
Where is Prosperity? Do you know? Is she dead, or did she get off somewhere?
I don't know. I thought Moria blew her up.
Well, she came back once. I'm not taking another chance.
I don't know. You could try to find her.
I turn back to Tesla. Let's search the area. I'm coming with you.
All right. Aurora sort of looks to you. Can I go?
Yeah, come on.
Okay. And you head off. Tesla taking a few people, and you and Aurora, the rest of them on bikes, Tesla in one of the Jeeps, drive the two of you so as to not let you out of her sight. You drive around for a bit, searching the area. Go ahead and hit me with read a sitch. So roll plus sharp. All right, so that's a partial. So you could ask one question. Off of that list, I'm assuming the question would be, what is my enemy's true position?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you drive around for a bit. You don't see anything at first, and then as Tesla is sort of getting ready to take a turn and head to another area off in the distance a little bit, sort of behind some taller like dunes, you see just this faint sort of green glowing.
Tesla, you see that green over there?
Yep.
Check it out.
Fuck me. She starts to drive that way. How close you want to get?
I don't know. As close as we think we reasonably can. I don't know.
All right. She sort of turns the wheel of the Jeep and heads that direction, skirting it a little bit. You sort of come around the dune and you see, I'm not entirely sure where it is coming from. It's sort of centered on a point sort of behind this dune. You see this, it's sort of like the poison clouds that you've seen before. It's sort of swirling around, kind of hovering, and this kind of like pulsing green light coming from the center of it.
What do you think, Aurora? You think she's in there?
Probably.
Well, in we go, I guess.
Tesla sighs, convinced that today is the day that she's going to die, and hits the gas and drives you straight toward this cloud. What do you want to do?
As soon as I can get close enough to see what it is, I'm gonna tell Tesla to run her over if it's her.
Okay. Yeah, you drive up. It's hard to see because this stuff is so like thick. It's almost like it's got this odd, like almost like viscous quality to it, which you're a little bit familiar with. Excuse me. You sort of watch as Tesla kind of circles in the Jeep with the two of you in it quickly, and then once this light sort of flashes very brightly, sort of outlining a figure in the middle of the cloud. You point it out to Tesla. She guns it and drives directly into this cloud, impacting something, and something sort of falling underneath the wheels of the Jeep. She sort of hits the brake, sort of drifts a little bit, and comes to a stop, watching. And you see this cloud. Let's get something exciting. You see the entire cloud start to pulse. It almost looks like a heartbeat, sort of pulsing in and out, and with this light in the center of it. And then you hear what sounds like growling, extremely loud growling, like louder than Moriai. It's very off-putting. And you see the light continue to pulse, and then the cloud starts to swirl and get larger, and you can see sort of in this pulsing light the outline of this figure stand up from the ground and then start to shift. It walks towards you out of this cloud of poison, and you see sort of standing on the edge of it, Prosperity, again, looking worse than you saw her before. Her arm is sort of all twisted and wrong, like the explosion did something to her for sure. She's still mostly intact, but you see her body start to shift and kind of crack, and her forms start to change as she starts to grow. Her limbs get long, and she starts to grow sort of taller and wider, and her face kind of twists and contorts until she is standing before you, this huge sort of hulking green something.
Well, I'm gonna get out of the Jeep with my weapon in my right hand. Is that you?
Okay.
You sure is ugly now.
All you hear is this sort of low, like, guttural growl.
Yeah, I'm gonna level up and fire at where the head should be. Still where the head is?
It's still sort of there. She's all kind of... Lumpy's not really a nice word for it, and I don't like saying it, but she's all kind of contorted, and her muscles are sort of, like, expanding out and, like, bulging, and yeah, it's not a good look for her. But you fire upon her. Go ahead and roll me to go aggro.
I'm gonna use
And
a
this
crit
is your...
on this one.
All right, this is your pistol?
Yeah.
Glad you guys enjoyed that. All right, how much harm does your pistol do?
I think it's 2. Yeah, 2 harm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go
But
ahead
it
and
does
roll
have
me
the tag.
plus...
It does have the tag close. So should I run closer? I guess.
You're pretty close. You weren't that far off.
Okay.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll me plus hard to go aggro. And we hit, while you're doing that, we hit our retweet goal. So we're gonna give a crit to somebody. Everybody has one, so I'm gonna roll a d4. 1, 2, 3. Moriai! Have a crit.
Yeah. I'm gonna use one of my crits to fire this shot.
Awesome. Okay, so you fire upon her, and you see the bullet straight and true hit sort of center mass, like right here, square in the chest, and barely leave a scratch.
Aurora, can you do a little something more powerful with all of your great magic?
I don't know. I guess I can try. What do you want me to
Yeah,
do?
sweetie. Now's the time. I don't know what you got. Do you have some sort of blast you can do? Something that's gonna blow monster prosperity away? We got to do something here, and this is all I got. I look at Tesla. You got something heavier?
Yeah, you see, as you ask that, Tesla is already sort of rummaging around in the back seat for all the very large guns that are in this car with her. She's just loaded. She takes out this sort of large, powerful-looking rifle and trains it on Prosperity. Excuse me. Allergies are killing me today. You say this to Aurora, and she looks concerned, and kind of shakes her head for a moment like she's thinking, and she looks at you, and sort of reaches out a hand towards you, Sedona, and says, "Help me." Thanks for the big crits!
How do I help you?
She shakes her head again, and she reaches out and grabs your hand, as she is going to use you as an antenna. Can you roll me plus weird, please?
A little weird. A little weird. Cool. Yeah.
Nice. All right, that's a full success. So yeah, you are not injured in the process, which is good for everyone involved. So she grabs onto your hand, and you immediately feel some sort of connection take hold as she is sort of using you to help sort of siphon this power. And you see her eyes start to glow this like bright purple, and an energy start to kind of pulse off of her, and she turns and looks out the window at Prosperity for a moment and just focuses, and she goes very quiet. As you have instructed her to, you hear a gunshot ring out as Tesla fires, and then for just a moment, everything stops. And you can see this as well because she's using you. See everything around you sort of slow way down and stop for a moment. The bullet, this huge sort of round that has made it about halfway to Prosperity, you see sort of hang in the air, and it start to glow this same like light purple color. And then you hear Aurora exhale, and everything starts again. And there is this blast of energy as the bullet impacts Prosperity, sort of sending her tumbling back into this cloud of poison. And it goes quiet.
Did we kill her?
I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah. Let's go. And I'm gonna take Aurora's hand and walk over there with her.
Okay. You get out of the car, taking Aurora with you, and you walk toward that cloud of poisons, which is starting to dissipate a little bit. You sort of look in, and you don't see anything at first. And then once everything sort of starts to clear, you can see what looks like a scorch mark on the ground in front of you. No body, no Prosperity, but this large sort of burned out spot.
Well, did we totally annihilate her? Or that's... I'm like looking around.
I don't know. Well, now what?
I guess we go back to the hold? I don't know.
Okay. That was a good idea.
What? What was? Coming after her?
Yeah.
No. Gotta do what you gotta do, I suppose. I don't know. I just had a hunch that wasn't gonna be it.
Yeah. You're smart.
Thanks, kid. Hey, while we go back, why don't you tell me a little bit more about your powers? I'm genuinely interested.
Okay. And the two of you head back to the car, a little confused. Not entirely sure what's happened, but currently out of danger. Aurora talks to you a little bit on the ride back. There are a few things she knows she can do. Mostly she's aware that she can very easily influence people and things like that. But as far as whatever just happened, she don't know.
Wow, kid. You are talented.
Thank
Do
you.
you want to stay with us long term or head elsewhere?
I think I'll stay.
Okay, kid. You're all right.
And you head back with Tesla. Our other three, you have massacred a bunch of people in their trucks. What would you like to do with them?
That was fun.
She-
I didn't see
She's
prosperity
not
though.
here.
No.
Shit. Yeah. We should circle back, see what we can find at her vehicle. But at least she's down a few bozos.
Yeah.
Moria is like thinking. And you literally, between the slits of the mask, you see his eyes get extra squinty. Then he starts walking around and like Walking Dead stomping these guys' melons. Like just blunk, blump, blump. See if they come back. Blump.
Oh, good thought. Maybe we should.
You're
Double
going to
tap.
clean those shoes before you get into the house.
His shoulders shrug, slump a bit. And he starts scraping his boots in the dirt.
Don't want to brain on the carpet.
You two are as adorable as you are scary.
Thanks. And head back
Alright.
to where prosperity could be because, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
start at her old wreck and then work our way back.
All right, so the three of you pile up in the car. Head back to the assembly line. Around the same time, you see driving up in a Jeep, Tesla and her many guns, and with Sedona and Aurora in tow. The gang's all here.
Well, I think we killed Prosperity for real this time.
You did? Like you? I mean,
Well, the kid did most of the work. I was just a antenna, if you will.
you think she's gone this time? I look to Aurora specifically because fuckery.
You look to Aurora. She's just kind of sort of watching Sedona intently as you have this conversation. She looks back to you. I think so. I think she's gone.
Read a person.
Okay. Roll me plus sharp. Or it's plus weird for you, I guess.
Yeah. Partial
Right.
success.
Okay, one question.
One question. Read a person. What's Aurora really feeling?
Aurora is conflicted right now. She is smiling, but I think you can tell pretty easily that it doesn't reach all the way up to her eyes. Yeah, she looks like she's sort of grappling with something.
I'm not gonna push it. Make perfect
Moria
sense to me that
is-
she's.
Moriai's lumping around them, looking like, where's her head?
Well, that's the thing. She wasn't in the car, so we went looking. We found a cloud of poison. She was in there, and she was turning into something monstrous. It was, I don't know, lumpy, if you would. And
It was gross.
my gun didn't make a difference. So Tesla fired a shot, and we like superpowered it together, and there was nothing left. It was a burned out spot on the ground.
Was the green mist still there?
It was dissipating.
Well, at least her people are gone. Like, what can she do when she's green mist, right?
I mean, turn into a monster and beat the walls down like Moria does and just, oh yeah, her way right in? I don't know.
Actually, that's a good point. She could do that. I'm really hungry, though. Like, could as well eat and while we wait for her to rematerialize and kill us. Can we have soup, please?
Yeah.
Soup's all around.
All right, you head
Chocolate,
back in.
Little bit of chocolate after. Chocolate.
Yeah, all the chocolate we got.
All right, you head back in. Eat your soup, have a little bit of chocolate, and you wait to see what happens next. It is quiet for the moment. You sit about an hour or so passes and nothing happens. The hole in the wall is being patched back up. And as you sort of sit there, you all see Aurora kind of look up and kind of cock her head, like she's listening for something. And then she looks around at all of you, and you see Sedona, what you saw once before. Her eyes sort of flash this like bright purple. And she kind of stares off for a moment and says, "They're coming. All of them."
Like the rest of her douchebags.
Yeah. They're really mad.
Yeah, that makes sense. God. Alright. Soup's gonna have to wait. And
much-
Liv will... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
How much time do we have before they get here?
An hour?
We got any of those old landmines laying around, Liv?
Yes. And then she will just make a beeline for the armory radio and just... Sig! Armory! Now! 3 or 4 guys... Go ahead.
Please tell me we're going to Home Alone this.
Oh, oh, you know it.
Okay. With an idea in place, Liv, you head to meet Sig and some of your violent bastards at the armory, and Mercury's eyes light up. And you get ready to lay a trap. We are right here gonna go ahead and take a quick break so we can refresh ourselves. We will be back shortly for the exciting conclusion to this finale of Dieselpunk. So stick around. We will be right back. And we're back. Hello again, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us during our break, watching our fun trailers, and sticking it out. We are refreshed and raring to go. So we're going to pick back up right where we left off. You have an hour, allegedly. What's the plan?
How many grenades do we still have in that grenade launcher, my dear?
We have 2 rounds for the mortar and 3 for the actual grenade launcher.
That should be helpful. But a lot of them are coming. I
Are we
don't
gonna do the
think it's
nails in the
just-
paint buckets?
Yeah. and the spider with Jeremy.
Yeah.
But I don't
Um,
think it's just them like being really angry that we took prosperity away from them and like come if you don't fight. I think it might be like weird things in their minds, voices, her voice maybe controlling them. I don't know if you have any sway over a mob like that, Sedona. If you could, or maybe you and Aurora with your powers combined.
That's smart thinking, Mercury. What do you think, Aurora? Think that would work?
I think so. Maybe.
Great.
Hopefully.
Worth a shot anyway.
Now, do we have power, like electrical power here in the assembly line?
Yeah, there are generators that sort of run electricity. You have like basic stuff like lights and things like that. Yeah, you have access to power.
Well, I mean, if we could find a big piece of old chain link fence, lay it on the ground, and put a circuit through it. So, like, ooh, look, you got through the gate. Buzz.
Interesting.
I mean, is that something we can attempt to pull off?
Yeah, you could certainly try. How's that? All right, so you're wanting to... Someone was going to go look and see if you had mines, which I assume you probably have a few of. That's fine. You've got your grenades, you've got your mortar. You want to try to set this up. Is there anything else?
I mean, if it becomes a siege, the nails and the bucket things would be okay for like whirling around and getting people off the wall. But we'll do that when the
That's
time
actually a
comes.
really good idea. Yeah.
Can I get the
True.
grenade launcher?
Okay, Moriai hands it over happily.
And it's probably about as big as Mercury. Like,
Yep. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so you've got traps to set. You don't have much time, and you have a lot to do. So who is taking point on this?
probably think Moria.
Liv is gonna be helping out with the like traps and whatnot, and making sure that the gang is in order. But it seems like Moriai is the go-to artillery expert.
Okay.
I'll stick with Moria.
Moria.
'cause- Yeah, go for it. Go.
I'm gonna have you roll to act under pressure. I would say this is probably the highest pressure situation you've all been in.
Partial. 7.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can get everything set up. You have no guarantee that it is all going to work exactly as planned. but you have the time to do it all. If you wanted to be able to test anything or check anything, you're probably not going to be able to set them all up. So you could sort of pick and choose a couple and know they're going to work, or you could do them all and hope for the best.
I like seat of the pants, hope for the best myself.
I figured. All right, so yeah, you get these mines placed. Mercury is given the grenade launcher. You set up the mortar with your remaining shells, and you lay this sort of electricity-based trap. And that you're doing that sort of inside the wall?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you set up, you lay your traps, live, you get your gang together. As you are, most of them are there. You're down about 10 people.
That sound terribly ominous. What?
Liv will go over to Tesla and be like, the South Wall crew is looking a little light. What gives? Did we lose anybody in the fight?
I mean, in a sense.
The fuck does that mean, in a sense?
Some of them fucked off.
Ungrateful bastards. Alright, I'll remember that. But I'm still looking stacked. God, that really pisses me off. Alright. Just try to keep morale sunshiny and, you know, as best you can. Put on that Tesla charm.
Oh yeah, Sunshine's my middle name.
There it is. It's exactly what I'm talking about. And I don't say it enough, but thank you.
You got it. All right. Guess we'll wait. And she takes off full of vim and vigor and all smiles. And no, she doesn't do that. She does fuck off though, and goes to sort of reorient a little bit, making sure both gates are stacked with guards. And you wait. You sort of work right up to the hour mark, and then you wait for them to show. After a few moments of sort of tense silence, you start to hear engines off in the distance. And you see over the horizon, coming in from the direction of Pinnacle, and then shortly after from the direction of the radio station, a convoy of trucks. You see these huge trucks, some of them with mounted guns, some of them smaller cars. You've got a few Jeeps with people sort of hanging out the sides as this force moves in on either side of the assembly line, getting close to your gates, but not right up on them yet. Some of them begin to sort of slowly circle around the outside. And then all at once you start to hear gunfire as they begin to fire on the walls at your guards, and your people begin to fire back. They are still a little far off. They haven't quite reached the threshold of the chaos that you've set up yet. Do you want to try to pick some of them off while they're out there, or do you want to wait?
I will definitely launch grenades as soon as they are within range into the big gun-toting trucks.
All right, hit me with a go aggro.
Oh, I'm using crit for that.
Oh, hell yeah. All right, we will
Finale
treat
time,
that
just
as... right. You guys have... I just looked, you have so many of them. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you also have some. I know you don't roll, so you're welcome to do something else with them. I shouldn't have said that, but, you know.
No, you're good. I'm gonna start... I'm gonna throw them out during this this last thing for good things to happen for the bad guys, which I did early on and haven't done again. So I'm gonna do it now. So yeah, you fire off a grenade. You'll hear this explosion as Mercury, with just pinpoint accuracy, fires a grenade directly through the windshield of one of these trucks. There is this explosion, sort of fire blasting out the windows as it sort of careens and dovetails, sort of flipping end over end. Liv, go ahead and roll for me plus hard for your gang. All right, that is a 13. That's a full success on the wrong thing. So yeah, you hear gunshots sort of start to ring out from the walls. They start to fire down into these cars, trying to hold them off as best they can. It's loud for a moment until finally sort of few of the smaller cars have kind of peeled off, their drivers being taken out. They start to circle around closer and closer, finally sort of moving in all at once, headed up by this huge truck. There's this massive truck with this large sort of spiked, sort of slanted metal plate on the front of it, and this truck turns and starts to drive directly towards the gate of the assembly line. You hear more explosions start to go off as a few of the mines that you've placed detonate as the sort of pressure of the cars rolls over them. One of them takes out the one of the front tires of this large truck as it sort of drives forward, and it wobbles for a moment, but the momentum sort of lets it keep going, and there is this loud smash as it barrels directly through the gate and onto another trap you have lain, which I love. So you see, as soon as this thing sort of smashes through the gate, it sends pieces of metal flying, and it starts to sort of barrel into town. It hits Moriai, the second barrier that you have set up, and you see sparks start to fly. You also see off to one side this sort of large area where what you have lain down sort of sparks very brightly, and it sends sort of sparks flying everywhere, and the sort of ground around it and this one building catches fire. All right, things have gone a little awry, but you manage to set this trap, the truck sort of skidding to a stop as this electricity kind of takes hold, sort of running up the metal into the vehicle. There's some screaming and lots more gunfire, but you see as more of these cars start to drive in through the gate, there are people jumping out of the cars, sort of starting to climb up on the walls, and it's just pure madness. What do you do?
Do the people look different? Or are they just people? from what we
The
can
people
tell.
that you're seeing right now, they're these folks that you've seen before. They're wearing these like gas masks. As far as you can tell, it's just people.
Then we murder them.
Moriai is doing like a kind of tribal dance around the mortar, and he's like singing da 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 da. And when he does, he slams the mortar shell in, and it goes poof, da 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 da, poof. You know.
All
And he's
right.
specifically trying to hit vehicles.
Love it.
No
Yeah,
escape.
go ahead and roll to go aggro.
14.
Fuck. When you are rolling, you're all rolling so well. It's so good. Yeah, so you hear Moriai sort of chanting out this this big melody as the mortar shells go flying over the wall into these groups of vehicles, explosions going off, cars flying, the sounds of like creaking and smashing metal as debris just starts to fly, knocking into some of the other vehicles. Yeah, the rest of you.
I would like to use the buckets that we filled with heavy things, concrete and nails, to
do that.
try and smack that into the people that are trying to clamber up the walls rather than where they breached it. So,
Okay.
going full Home Alone, just swinging them down.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go aggro. Again, this is some of the most aggro stuff I can think of.
That's a 10, that succeeds as well.
It does. So yeah, you start. What does this look like? Tell me what this looks like, because this is wild to me.
Mercury just hops along that battlement that we have, and just all the little buckets that are placed there, just picks them up, throws them down, hops 2 steps, picks them up, throws them down, and occasionally they miss, obviously, because some people are clambering up the chain link fence, others are clambering up the rusty metal bits, whatever we use to secure the assembly line. But occasionally some folks get hit full in the face with one of those heavy buckets. You see teeth flying, you see jaws broken, and you hear the occasional Wilhelm scream as they drop back down.
Excellent. It is nasty. There is just chaos raining down, Mercury raining down chaos on the wall, sort of knocking people down, sort of keeping them at bay as they try to besiege your home. Liv and Sedona, where are you doing?
Liv was supplying rifle fire, but is now also taking Mercury's lead on guarding the wall from the folks that are clambering up. And she's just kind of like point blanking folks with their magnum as they like pop their heads up, just like, and goodbye, and goodbye, and goodbye, and just, yeah.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and roll for me. Plus hard.
Okay. It's the old partial.
The old partial success. So I'm going to have you exchange harm with some folks a couple of times when you pop up, getting struck by stray bullets. Go ahead for me. Take 3 harm. Minus your armor. Okay. Sedona.
Sedona is gonna turn to Aurora and say, "Showtime, kiddo. You ready?"
Yeah.
And then I just imagine this old, beat up, nasty looking megaphone that like barely functions half of the time. And Sedona puts it up to her mouth and like clicks the button and like holding Aurora's hand with the other one and says, Lay down your weapons and die. And that's all she says. And like
Okay.
trying to like pull energy from Aurora as she does this.
Okay.
I like to think the microphone squeaks. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And I love it. Go ahead and roll for me to, is it frenzy? Speak the truth to a mob?
Yes. That's a real word.
All right. On fire. You speak out and holding Aurora's hand. And as you do, speak through this megaphone, and you can see again next to you this like just a little bit of like glowing sort of purple energy coming off of Aurora as she amplifies what you are already doing. You all hear all the way across, all the way to the south gate. You can all hear Sedona's voice sort of ringing out as she calls out to this mob to lay down their weapons and die. I believe
Yes.
were the words. And as she does, just very briefly around all of you, everything goes dead silent. Her voice sort of echoes out, the gunshots stop, the explosions sort of settle, and all you can really hear sort of off in the distance is some of this rumbling from these engines as everyone stops. Do you keep going? They have all just sort of stopped and they are looking towards the sound of Sedona's voice. What do you do?
Well, that was easy.
Yeah, but I want the big guns. I want the big green meanie. Where is she?
As you say this,
Liv's just gonna start looking for her. Yeah.
Yeah, you say this, and you see everyone around you, these people, the ones that are left anyway. You've murdered quite a few people at this point, sort of bodies littering the ground wearing these gas masks. They start to lay their guns down, and they all just sort of kneel. And then over the top of the engines rumbling, you hear another sound, kind of this loud carrying, like something is pounding on the ground, slowly at first, and then getting closer and closer to you. Those of you that are on the top of the wall, you look out and you see coming at you from off in the distance, running now straight towards this gate, this huge hulking outline of something. Sedona looks a little familiar to you, bigger than it was before, and following it, just this horde of figures just running on the assembly line. What do you want to do?
Okay, got what I wished for. Focus fire on whatever the fuck that is.
Can you make them fight for us? To
Yeah.
Sedona and Aurora.
Plans have changed. Please turn around and fight Big Green Meanie and all of her baddies coming this way. Thank you.
Okay. So you spend your second hold to tell them to fight for you, which you can do because you have 3, and they do. You see all these folks sort of amplified by Aurora's help. You see all of their eyes sort of flash like this silvery purple, and they pick up their guns and start to head to defend the place they were just besieging, as this just horde of creatures starts to run up on the assembly line. Most of your traps have been sprung at this point, and you see all of these zombies. You've seen them before. They're basically zombies. They're sort of green, eyes glowing, kind of twisted faces, gross, like sort of burned and dried skin, just charging through the gate into the city. This one large, sort of twisted green creature at this point, about 15 feet tall, comes stomping through, sort of laying waste to the things in front of it. What would you like to do?
I think I have... How many more grenades were in that launcher, Graveyard? I shot 1 or 2 at the thing. Unless you want to make sure...
You
say
we,
I
we
shot
started
them all,
with. I was gonna say you started with 3. You fired
Okay,
one.
I rolled
I'll
for one of
do
them. But if you want that roll to have counter for all 3, I'm okay with that. But if I have 1 left, I'll shoot it at.
No,
Not the
I'd
Hulk.
say you would have. Yeah, you would have used a couple on the big trucks. But yeah, you'll have 1 left. So you
I have 1
fire.
left.
Yeah.
Try and fire onto, for copyright reasons, not the Hulk.
Way uglier than the Hulk.
Success!
All right, that is a 12. So you fire this grenade, and it sort of hits center mass on this creature, sort of blowing out one side of its chest, leaving this just gross looking, just like a hole, essentially, in like one side of it. Its arm kind of hanging on partially at this point. It continues to sort of run through and start to just break things as the rest of these creatures start to overwhelm the people that are shooting at them, sort of climbing on them, scratching, blood everywhere. It's generally very messy down there. The rest of you, what are you doing?
Yeah, just laying down as much as I can on the horde and the big guy with my rifle. That's all I can
Okay.
do.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me plus hard. Okay.
Never gonna roll like
Uh,
this again in my life.
It's
This is
wild how well you are rolling today. Yeah, you lay down some covering fire with a 10, starting to focus on this huge creature that is in front of you. As you do, it sort of turns to find out where the source of a lot of its pain is coming from and starts to make its way toward you and the people around you. Morai and Sedona. What you doing?
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna turn to Aurora. Kid, you got another one of them blasts in you?
Maybe.
What's the matter?
I mean, it's just kind of scary.
You got this. Nothing out there can hurt you.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to manipulate someone.
Ooh. So, one of my moves I can use weird instead of hot.
Nice.
So I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Yeah, she'll go along with you. So, you say these words to her, and she kind of nods. And says, okay. Okay. And she just sort of reaches out for your hand again.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take her hand
Okay.
and give it a good squeeze before she does anything to kind of keep reassuring her.
Awesome. She will use you as an antenna. You go ahead and roll plus weird for me. This is like
Yikes.
unreal. What is happening here?
I've leveled up. I've got to find something to put.
I don't think
Great.
we've
You got a
had
little
fail
bit of
yet.
time left.
3 partial successes. Everything else.
No, and we had one fail and then used a crit. So
Oh yeah.
you guys are on. I mean, you were very prepared for this situation, I guess. That's great. So yeah, you take Aurora's hand and you squeeze it, and you see again her eyes sort of flash, and then she closes them and focuses in, sort of drawing power from you, and out from her just radiates this huge burst of energy kind of on all sides, knocking everyone back, sending a lot of these creatures sort of tumbling and falling to the ground. Several of them just completely, the ones that are like very close around to her, just exploding with the force that she sends out to them. So you all sort of hear this loud blast as this energy just sort of radiates through the assembly line, cutting down several of these things. You also see this sort of large creature that had turned its attention to Liv stop and turn, and Sedona look in your direction and start to move that way on you and Aurora. It is not very far away from you, and it is coming fast. Let's see. Moria. Yeah.
He'll like reach down and grab his iconic big F off sword and be like, no, you fight me, as he rushes across and try to get a leg.
Okay. Yeah, you take off running. You go ahead and roll to do something under fire to get over there.
Oh, fudge. All right, I've got a stack of these, so let's just spend them on these
All right.
these fails. Damn.
Hit that
I am
crit.
the luck sink. I'm the
All
luck
right,
sink
so
tonight.
we'll use a crit on that. So we'll treat that as a 12. So yeah, you take off, sort of dodging between these different creatures, kind of cutting a few down as you go, tumbling through to make it over to this large monstrosity to take a swing. Go ahead, since you're there, roll to go aggro on someone. We'll exchange some harm. The rest of you sort of see this happening as this creature's attention is turned onto Sedona and Aurora, and it is very, very quickly making its way over there. Moria trying to intercept it, rolling a 6.
I mean, why die with bullets in the chamber? Let another one fly.
Okay, I get a crit. Hey, thanks for all those crits, chat.
Yes.
They're helping us out right now quite a bit. Yeah, so you raise up the sword and bring it down sort of across the leg of this huge creature in front of you. Let's see. How much harm your sword do? 3, 4?
Rules wise, it does 3. Oops, 3.
Okay, great. 3. Let's put that up here for my reference. You'd think I would remember by now. So you swing the sword, sort of leaving a huge gash across this thing's leg. As you do, it reaches down with one huge arm, just swiping at you, sort of knocking you back. You are going to take 3 harm from that, as it just impacts you with this huge, like, twisted, gnarled hand right in the center of your chest. Sedona, from up where you and Aurora are, you see Moria sort of swipe at this thing, and then it swipe back, sort of sending him tumbling with the force of that, quickly getting to his feet. He's pretty well armored. What are the rest of y'all doing?
I have an idea, but Liv, I think you haven't gone in a while. If you want to go first.
I was just gonna help Moria, but at this point, I'm not sure how. Continue focusing on the big one.
I want to,
Okay.
still up at the top, battlements, run and jump onto the creature's back. as it's coming towards Sedona.
Okay.
So that might
go.
look kind of together there.
Go ahead and roll me plus cool to do something under fire. See where you land.
To use a crit. No, partial success.
Okay. Yeah, see Mercury. You all see Mercury take a running leap and jump sort of toward this creature's back. You're a little off center and you sort of manage to wrap yourself around its upper arm and kind of cling onto its shoulder from where you are. Precarious position, but you're on it.
And I don't know if it's going to work because I'm not sure if that applies only to humans or whatever this thing is as well. But with the in-brain puppet string, I want to try and command it to stop.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Full
Yeah.
success.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so you all see this? Are you okay?
I'm nowhere near as tough as Mercury.
It's just so exciting. You all see this as Mercury takes this flying leap, sort of holding on to, sort of grappled onto this creature's like arm and shoulder, and then all at once you see this flash as you reach into its mind, and it stops in its tracks. Sedona and Aurora right in front of you, frozen in place.
I got an idea. And I leveled up, so I picked up a new move. I picked up the Battle Babe move, Visions of Death. So
Hey,
I'm
I
gonna
took
flavor
that one
this
too.
just a bit. You should take it.
Let's have some visions then.
So, in this sort of moment, Sedona, like, she's staring down this thing, and suddenly her vision changes and shifts, and there's this, like, instead of it being like what it is, though it's a monstrosity, she sees something else. She sees this devilish like creature like change into it, and she like in her mind, this is what the vision she sees, and she points at it. She says, "You will end your own life right now." And then she turns and looks at Aurora and says, "And you're gonna make it through this. You're gonna live." And it's like, as she says it, her voice comes out in this like different, like deeper, darker tone, like she's pulling from something. And she has picked one NPC to live and one NPC to die. That's the way it works, right?
Yes,
Technically, you have to roll, but I could just take a crit if you want to use it for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a crit for that.
I would say you can name them ahead of time. It's just a matter of what happens. Okay. The MC will make your vision come true. If it's even remotely possible. Okay. Yeah, so you sort of reach out and you all hear Sedona's voice kind of booming out, calling out that Aurora shall survive, and that this creature in front of you, who you are currently perceiving as the devil, and you feel some sort of energy, like in your mind as you reach out with them, take hold. Mercury, you feel this from where you are, being able to do something similar. You feel Sedona sort of take hold of the situation, sort of calling out that this creature will die, and as you look up at it, you start to see sort of what she is seeing, this sort of like twisted, like devil face.
If it is within, and it might just be a vision still, I don't know if you can make this reality, but I feel like Mercury would kind of see what Sedona is seeing here, what he's hearing, the cackling of that devil face and the strange creature that resides within its bigger, more muscular, hulking form. And she'd try and reach through and drag that devil out of its protective body. I can use the 3 harm from the puppet string for that, just as a flavor for the harm.
There we go. I thought I clicked the button, but I didn't. Yes, let's do that. So you, as this vision sort of takes hold and you sort of lean into sharing this with Sedona, you focus on the connection that you have with this creature and these puppet strings that you've sort of attached to its mind, and you start to pull. The creature doesn't move because you've commanded it not to, but you hear
use the harm on it. It's the commanding will kind of ebb away with that.
Okay. Yeah, so you start to hear this like low sort of rumbling like growl of pain, and as you start to pull on whatever this devil is, you can all see with Mercury attached to it, this thing start to kind of thrash about in pain, and its limbs start to kind of twist up and its head turns and it looks like it's shifting and it starts to shrink very slowly, and in this sort of creepy, odd, twisting form, it starts to shrink down and down and down until Mercury, your feet hit the ground as you're holding on to it, as it shifts back into prosperity. She sort of falls to her knees.
You just exercised a demon, Mercury.
It was really smelly. I didn't like it. Mercury sits on her ass, kind of fell off when Prosperity shrunk down. It's just out, getting back up and brushing herself off. Someone should probably grab her.
Yeah, I think Liv will get 2 of the bigger gang members to restrain her.
Okay. Yeah, she is weak and does not put up much of a fight. So they sort of take either of her arms and restrain her. What do you want to do?
Moriai's looking at Liv. He's standing like there, sword back like, why are we stopping? He doesn't say anything, but he's standing there.
All right. Moriai, I am going to need you to do the best damn decapitation job you've ever done in your life, because I swear to God, if this bitch shows up on my doorstep tomorrow, I am going to fling myself into the poisons. Capiche?
Gotcha.
I'm done with this
Lydia,
shit.
you're muted.
Oh, me?
Oh well, too late anyway.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. I was like, Aurora, do you want to do some stab? And that's when the hit probably flies already.
Yeah. Yeah, she kind of, from up top, just kind of watches this happen as her head goes flying as it rolls across the ground. No, I'm okay. What do you do with her?
Is the head still going? Is it like moving detached from her body, or is she dead?
She appears to be dead.
I poke the head to be sure.
Okay, you poke the head and it kind of rolls over a little bit. Doesn't talk or anything, so.
We could chop her up and put her in jars and pickle her. And put her on a shelf so we can keep an eye on her.
Liv picks up the head. And there's probably a landmine or two still lying around, right?
Yeah, I did say all of them didn't go off.
I would like to spend one of my. I would like to spend one of my crits.
I regret
please.
nothing. Okay. To do what?
I am going to punt the head onto a landmine.
I have created 4 monsters. And I love them so dearly.
If it's of any consolation, we were monsters before. You just let us loose.
I did. Do you know what? I regret.
I tried diplomacy and they
nothing.
brought the big bad back to life and turned
Also
her
true.
into the Hulk. So diplomacy didn't work.
I did. I regret nothing. You walk very calmly, holding the severed head of Prosperity to the gate. Drop it and punt it out onto, because you would know where they were, because you were the one that put them out, one of the landmines that the cars managed to avoid earlier. It lands perfect center, and there is this explosion out sort of in the wastes, and you see dust and blood and teeth probably just go flying out from center.
Oh, I needed that. I needed that so bad.
Oh,
Right.
do it with one of our hands as well. Like, I think we should probably.
Yeah, let's grind up that body so it doesn't come back. I'm gonna go check on some of the injured. Go nuts.
Pickle jars.
You can keep finger.
Liv is going to go over to Aurora to make sure she's okay and just be like, "You alright, kid? I know there was a lot of bullshit, but hopefully you're free now."
Yeah. Can I stay?
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I'm a little weird about the poison shit, but, you know, American Sedona ain't bad. You ain't bad. I just want you to be safe.
Okay. Do you
Please
have more
don't turn
chocolate?
my people into zombies. If I give you more chocolate, will you promise not to turn the people into zombies?
Yes.
Deal then.
Cyclopter,
Okay.
was that the plan all along, to get more chocolate?
No? A little bit.
Read a person.
Not all of it.
I'll send another
Sure.
crit.
Sure. Was the plan all along just for her to do all this to get more chocolate?
Exactly.
Maybe like a little bit of it. It wasn't
Like
the whole plan.
34%. Yeah. 34% of it had to do with chocolate.
Might have been a little bit of the plan. There are other motivations there, but that's also a good one.
Game respects game.
Okay. What do you do?
We have defeated the ancient evil.
Start cleaning up.
Yeah. I think we go into sort of epilogue mode. And what happens now for the assembly line?
Yeah, I would love to do that. Jimmy, what do you guys do?
For the rest of the day, Mercury will go through the various bodies of those that didn't make it to look for more shiny things. She will come out of this not having helped clean anything up whatsoever. I mean, who are you kidding? She will, however, have made beautiful jewelry out of teeth. And she will make sure that she finds one of Prosperity's, let's say, an eye. A little bit squishy, a little bit squelched. But she will try and pickle that and learn how to pickle things for Moriarty and get him a pickled eye of Prosperity for his birthday. And a teeth necklace for Sedona, and one of a watch or something from one of the people there for Liv. And she will ask Aurora what she wants because she doesn't know Aurora well enough yet. But she will invite Aurora to that scavenging party, to that scavenging fest that she's having, including body parts and shiny things.
Okay. Yeah, you scavenge some gifts. You take Aurora with you. She's not entirely sure. At first, she kind of picks through and looks through things. Mostly, she just finds things and is kind of handing them to you. But she finds on one of these bodies, a like sort of tucked up under a glove, a charm bracelet. That's sort of a little tarnished and dirty. But she sort of takes it off and puts it on and kind of holds it up. Like shakes it a little bit.
That's really pretty.
Yeah. And you have a lot of fun finding shiny things. What does Moriai do?
Oh, pitching bodies into piles. I mean, that's just, you know.
Having a lot of fun cleaning up.
Exactly. Oh, yang the vehicle's back out of the yard. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. You hear Moriai just having the time of his life. Throwing cars around, pitching bodies into piles. Working to clean up. Liv, what are you doing? Mental image
telling
of this is
Moriai,
so funny to me.
telling Moriai not to yeet every single car. Just, you know, have your fun, but we could use some of these for parts. And just kind of rallying the gangs to clean everything up, take shit into the garage to either scrap it for parts or you know, get some new vehicles. She's definitely helping with the cleanup. And I think she is also kind of coordinating with, like, you know, what the hell's his name? Dr. Dwight, and just making sure everybody is seen to and taken care of and everything. Just general leadership stuff.
Excellent. Yeah, you make sure that everyone is taken care of. Do a good job. It's like your whole thing. Sedona. What's Sedona doing?
At first, Sedona kind of just disappears. Like, everyone's like, oh, typical Sedona, she's not gonna help. But then she shows back up, and she's got her hair all pulled up, and she's, like, wearing work clothes, and she's getting in there, and she's helping them clean up. She's decided, like, I'm gonna make myself a little more useful around here. Like, I care about these folks. So she's, like, you know, helping drag dead bodies places, and laughing and joking and cutting up with people as they, you know, cut up and dispose of bodies and stuff. Like, you know, hey.
All right. So in the aftermath of this, almost everyone helps clean up Mercury and Aurora for a while. Nowhere to be found. Coming back with lots of new treasures. And the assembly line slowly starts to get put back together. Things are a little different now than they were a couple of weeks ago when all this started. How does the assembly line change sort of in the aftermath of all this?
I think there's more of the poison magic, or whatever you want to call it, has kind of always been not super widespread. I think that it was a big deal that Liv even let Moria and Mercury into the assembly line, and I mean, she definitely kept them separate from the general population. But I think she's making more of an effort to sort of understand it. Maybe asking Sedona to like maybe kind of bringing more legitimacy to what Sedona does. And I definitely think in the near future, the radio station will be a target again, and just she'd like to, in the near future, recoup some of the lost numbers. Kind of really get the ball rolling on establishing this as a safe haven, as a place where you'll be protected if you put in your work, whatnot. So acceptance, understanding of the poison magic, a little bit more of a structural security sort of deal.
Do we
And
have a
possibly look
scene
into-
of?
Go
ahead.
I was just gonna say possibly also look into what they can do with Pinnacle, if there's anything to either salvage or use as a sort of outpost or what have you. GB, you were saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, do we get a scene of like whatever the Sedona's faith, whatever their religious day is or whatever? Do we get a scene where, you know, people are filing in and then Liv in, like, you know, nice clothes comes, like, steps up into the scene and maybe begrudgingly but has a seat at the back in a pew, like, you know?
Yeah, Liv would definitely be there at the back, close to the door, in case she needs to retch, but would definitely be there. Don't know about looking nicer than usual, but she'd be there.
Every now and then you'd hear a
think
muttered, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
I think Sedona would see Liv just because she's buff and beautiful and buff back there in the back, and just not say anything, just keep doing her normal thing, not draw attention to her, but see and smile.
Okay. That is very nice. Any final scenes that you all want to do before I leave you with mine?
Just
think-
maybe. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh, just some more, domestic life between our two favorite psychos, and normal things that would happen with people, but askew. Like literally, there's got to be a scene where there's like the light coming through the window, or like we're looking in on an evening, and like Moriai is there with mask on and all, bouncing Nappy Lion on his knee, like this cybernetic penguin holding its flipper but bouncing it like you would a kid, while Jeremy is dangling, and and Mercury is maybe like batting, just pushing Jeremy like a swing, like it's hanging from the ceiling. Just some kind of scene like that as they pull back, and then there's like the house and the mangled flamingos and yard gnomes and other assorted accoutrements in the yard.
And a little bit of liquid is dropping from Silver's head, still in the motorcycle helmet, still on one of the shelves. Has been for many months now.
Yeah, it's a little late to pickle Silver at this point, but
Yeah.
he's still there. Okay. Anybody else?
I think at some point, not during sermons or what have you, Liv would have a private chat with Sedona in the old admin building, and just they're working out logistics of whatever the ceremony or what have you is, and just going over some stuff. And that Aurora kid is like the spitting fucking image of my sister. I ever tell you I had a sister?
No. Whatever happened to her?
Same shit that happens to everybody out there. It's been a decade at this point, and when I saw her locked up in that place, God, I wanted to blow Prosperity's head off. I ended up fucking blowing up her head, so what, all's well that ends well, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know, if there's more people like that out there that could benefit from a roof over their head and safety and security and what have you, will you help me give it to them?
Anything you want, Liv. I'm here to help.
Thanks. I still think the religious shit is crap. The dog agrees. However, it's the kind of crap that keeps people happy and gives them something to believe in, rather than some cranky broad who essentially has given up all hope. But if you can give it to people, then you'll always be welcome here.
Well, I've kind of come to the realization that that's what's important. When I first got here, I don't think that's what I was caring about too much. I think I was more worried about me and what it meant to have followers and what it meant to be this figurehead. But especially after dealing with this kid, I think Aurora's different, and I never should have felt like I felt about her, but it made me realize that I wasn't just worried about me, I was worried about everybody in here. And I've never cared about anybody else in my life, Liv. It was all about profit. What I could get from people if they followed me. But I don't know. Something changed. And I guess you helped me see that, Liv.
Obviously, that was the intention. I was just teaching you a lesson. Nah, I'm bullshitting you. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing until I figure it out, like, on the spot. Oh, God.
I think that's life, Liv. None of us really know what the hell we're doing. We're just trying to do our best.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this place stays a place for people to do their best. And when there's
And
people
rids
that
the
threaten
world.
the place... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and rids the worlds of all the prosperities out there.
Well, that's what the other two are for. They get stuff done in a diplomatic sense, is a word for it. When my version of diplomacy doesn't work, and your version of diplomacy doesn't work, we send in the diplomats.
With the machetes.
With the machetes.
Can we cut to a scene where, for whatever reason, we have to bring down the pinnacle, and we'll steal straight from Fight Club, where Ray and Mercury are standing back from Pinnacle, and Mercury has decorated and dolled up like the entire bottom of the place with like where there's TNT and stuff that Moriai strapped to the thing. She's like got skulls and flowers and whatever else she would have decorated around. And then, we're up on the hill, and, as he holds the plunger out for her to push, she pushes the plunger, and as the building is toppling and coming down, he just says, "You met me at a very weird part of my life," and takes her hand.
I like to think that they didn't know Liv intended to do anything with Pinnacle. She had only mentioned the radio station. And she just happens to off the cuff say to Sedona, "I wonder what we could turn Pinnacle into." And that it's no good just sitting there doing nothing, and then it cuts to this.
I love
Mercury
that.
saying, "Liv will be so proud. We took care of that."
Mm-hmm.
That is a problem for future Mercury and Moriai. All right. Well, if that is all, then I'm going to leave you with this. A few weeks later, after the assembly line has been cleaned up, the gates repaired, Aurora settled in, wounds healed, everything getting back to normal. Plans are being made to retake the radio station for good and put it to use for the purposes of the assembly line, whatever they are. It is the middle of the night, and we see heavy brown boots walking down, patrolling one of the streets of the assembly line. Looking up, you see Tesla, guns slung across her back, sort of walking, patrolling, keeping an eye out in the night, as security has been upped quite a bit since this last incident that you guys had. And as we pan up to her face, you see her stop, think for a moment, and then turn on her heel and begin to walk towards one corner of the assembly line, towards the church and where Sedona stays. She very quietly makes her way over, opens the door, shuts it gently behind her. Sedona, you are awoken a little, sort of half awake, by the sound of your door opening and shutting. And as you open your eyes, you look up and see her eyes flash a silvery purple, and you hear the cocking of a gun. And that's where we're going to leave it.
Well, that's just rude.
I thought it was going to be a late night rendezvous.
And that's the story.
Fucking rendezvous with a bullet. Why?
Why did you guys think I was just going to be like,
Why?
everyone's nice and happy and it's fine?
Why?
Rob's out.
Why not?
Rob's just, nope.
And that
I'll say my
is
piece
where
off the air.
this chapter of the story ends. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll find out what happened. But that day is not today. We still have a few minutes here. I do want to hear from you all briefly about the game in general. Favorite moments, fun tidbits about your characters. Let's talk about some favorite moments from my game here before we say goodbye.
Ooh.
Who wants to start?
I'm gonna start. Or yeah. I just really enjoyed that this was like good, proper action cinema sort of situation. Is it the most dramatic and deeply looking for the sense and morals of humanity? No. But is it really good fun to just switch off your brain when there's a fucking pandemic happening out there and going into a completely different weird world where you can actually murder hobo and still do it with some semblance of reason and rhyme, and just, you know, enjoy life for 3 hours? Yeah, and that's good. That's a good thing. So I really, really enjoyed that facet of our Encounter Roleplay week, and I'm really, really happy that I got to be a part of this in particular, because I needed that as a kind of counterbalance to everything else. And in terms of favorite scenes, I do think that there was also that balance within the party where we had the murder hobos here on that side, and we had the somewhat deeper connection, more human aspects on the other side, and to have that brought together, especially with Aurora as a linchpin. That was still one of my favorite things in the last episode, actually, when that all came to a head, when we kind of had to decide what to do with the girl, and everyone was, you know, discussing it and having their opinions voiced and heard, and to have these different almost genres coming together organically, that felt very, very satisfying to me.
Awesome. Well, I'm
What did
glad.
you want to say, Greybeard? Yeah,
Yeah, let's go around.
done, Savvy. I will forgive you that horrible thing there at the end, that cliffhanger. Maybe.
So, you know, again, interplay of characters was really, you know, again, a nice binding agent to just see the, again, because it's like in our Monster of the Week game, I play a character who doesn't have magic powers and superpowers and blah, 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 blah. And sometimes it's just like, wow, they can do all this cool stuff. And I got to be the dynamic, like, break through walls, lop people in half, character in this. And it felt really good to just be like, clink, off the chain and be ridiculous. It just, flipping cars and stuff. It's so apocalypse world that, you can reach into people's brains and everything else. And I loved your portrayal, Rob, of Liv, like, God damn it, I'm too old for this shit. Kind of feel as people are like magicking around you. And so then when you took the one power, the augury thing, I was like, oh, that's so awesome to suddenly like, Poing! Oh shit, now I'm part of this. It was beautiful to see the development there. Really nice. That's my take.
Yeah, I think like you said, it's nice to kind of take off the kind of when you role play so much, and especially when you're in the public sphere and you're doing like streaming, there's always this sort of want to be this sort of character that kind of has your own value, because what you're presenting to the world is different, and it's nice to be able to play characters in this type of setting where we're in this moral gray area constantly. We're not necessarily, by today's standards, the best people, but the world has changed, and the world has changed for them, and you have to adapt. So I like that a lot. I love the interplay. I love the growth of the relationships between the characters. Everyone here does such a great job of playing these chaotic, lovely people, and it was just perfect. It was so good. Hey, and you left it open for a sequel. That's all I'm saying.
And sorry, Rob, to cut you off real quick, but I just saw that Void Smoker has delivered something beautiful. I'm gonna put it in chat in a second once I deal with these bots. Because we got our pets, if you remember, our Napoleon and Jeremy, and it was actually Void Smoker who donated the Napoleon pet. So they did a beautiful, beautiful piece of that, and it's gorgeous, and we love our cybernetic penguin. And I think that is prosperity with Napoleon there.
That's wonderful. Oh my gosh.
So, that is so cool.
That's amazing. Everybody check that out. That rules. Thank you.
Awesome. That is cool. Oh, sweet.
All right. Let's hear from Rob. Tell us something good.
That Napoleon is pretty good.
Hell yeah.
I love it. I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
That's okay. Do you have a favorite moment? Or are you just real mad at me right now?
No, it's okay. No, I'm no mad at you than I usually am. I play enough games with you to know that it never ends well. Fuck. My brain is like so fried. Sorry, everybody.
No, you're good.
What I was gonna say was to the point of what Lydia was saying. The appeal of the apocalypse system to me is cinematic storytelling, not necessarily weighted down by number crunchiness. And there's roles, but it's kind of just used to inform like kind of how successful you are at the thing. You still end up doing the thing most of the time, but it's not completely dead in the water if you don't succeed. And so I think that this game, again, to Lydia's point, was played in the spirit of I think how it was intended to be played. It's cinematic, it's action packed. It's not it doesn't really leave you time to stop and breathe during these introspective moments, and I think you did an excellent job of keeping that pace going. I've played in 2 Apocalypse World games in my life. They were both with you, and that has always been your strong suit with Apocalypse World. I'd say you outdid yourself this time, and I just my favorite part was definitely getting to do those actiony, excitey scenes. I kind of it's a different role-playing experience for me than what I'm used to, where it's all very long-form development, sort of builds, and you had this clear antagonist and this clear plot point, the momentum never stopped, which I think was just a very positive experience. I think it was exciting. I was always eager to show up to it, eager to play it, and I think my favorite thing was I went into it expecting a lot of things and came out of it having all of those expectations completely blown away. My thought process was, oh, Sedona's the fake prophet, and now we meet a real one, and she's gonna be like, oh, I'm the big bad. And then we meet her, and it's just like some fucking kid who just has these powers that she doesn't necessarily understand, and is being used by the wrong person. And I was like, oh, that's neat. Like, and then that's why when Sedona was suspicious, I was like, wait, okay, but my expectation is that I shouldn't trust this kid. Oh god, I don't know what to think anymore. And I think that was my overall favorite, was Aurora as a character, because I feel like there's still a lot to do with the character, and I enjoy that the character has become sort of the bridge between the murder hobos, as it was put, and the, I don't know, sensible types. Am I sensible? I don't even think Liv is sensible, but we'll go with it.
Comparatively.
Comparatively, I suppose. And so I like that there's something for everybody with that character, and none of it is sinister. I mean, at this stage, I'm not being sinister, but yeah, I just think that it, in traditional savvy fashion, you set it up, there was an easy way out, and you didn't take the easy way out because you're a better storyteller than that, and you crushed it, and I love playing it, and you only drove me to drink a little bit with the ending. Only a smidgen.
That is what I do best. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much. We are coming to the end of our time, and we gotta get out of here so everybody can watch Eclipse right after us. If you like Power by the Apocalypse stuff like this, stick around. The finale of Eclipse is happening right after us. They're playing Urban Shadows. It's rad. The game is rad. The cast is rad. The story's rad. So yeah, stick around for that. Come hang out with us in the Encounter Roleplay Discord. Go watch all of our other shows on the YouTube. There's also a Patreon that you can support. You can join to the channel, all of that wonderful stuff. If you got some great clips from today, post them in the Discord so we can consider them for Clip of the Week. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment so we can consider you for Comment of the Week. Let us go around very quickly, everybody, so you can tell us where we can find you now. On the internet, where we can find you when you're not here, and then we'll say goodbye. So real quick, start with Rob and go around.
Hey, that's me. I'm Rob, your bonus stage Rob, or bonus_stage_Rob. You can usually find me on Twitter box at bonus stage Rob, or on Twitch at either twitch.tv/game nights, that's game with 2 G's and nights with a K, on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern for a Monster of the Week campaign called Slaying 101. And then, I don't know, twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob whenever I lock down a UK content schedule. I don't know. Follow my Twitter and I'll let you know when I figure it out. That's where I am.
Hi everyone! I'm so sad. This is the last time we'll be together playing Dieselpunks. Maybe? I don't know. But you can find me at Marlo Bogwitch on Twitter. She's not giving away anything. You can find me at Marlo Bogwitch on Twitter. I am there. I have a pinned tweet that lists everything that I'm doing. I think I have normal regular games, not this anymore. So every other Saturday I'm over on Featherfall playing 5e, a campaign called The Gateway Wars. I've got other things in the works, but I have a podcast that I am on, that is a 5e podcast as well, about kids looking for their missing fathers. I'm also on Cult Divinity Lost Game on Wednesday nights, over on D Live, and we do a little talk show. It's a horror talk show, so we either talk about the show or we talk about like a current movie. I think this week we're talking about The Cube from, I think it's 97 or something like that. So if you're a fan of sci-fi horror, check that out if you've seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, probably not a good show to watch because you get the spoilers. But so check me out. It's all in my pinned tweet. I think Lydia and I are going to be over on Colin's channel on Sunday, right? Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a streamed one. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a streamed one. We're going to chat about that. I think this is just to wind down after. But we'll figure that out. Just check the Twitches for that.
I need that. So either way is good with me. Thanks, guys.
Muted. Greybeard.
Greybeard of Greybeard's Muted Tavern.
It's very quiet there. It's a library. It's very Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern. You can find me over on GGK Gay Nights 2 or 3 times a week now, at least twice. Over at Indoor Adventures, over at my own channel, Greybeard Tavern on Twitch, where we play. Right now, until Darkest Dungeon 2 comes out, we're going to be playing Deep Sky Derelicts. We've been 8 or 9 episodes in. I get to play with all my toys there, so come by and have fun with us then. Let me see, am I forgetting any channels currently? No, I think I'm good. That's it for me, GB. Oh, and you're all beautiful, and I love you.
That's fair. That is an important addendum. I really enjoyed this every single week. I was looking forward to poking my eye with a contact lens, and I think that says something. And I hope we are seeing these lovely people again soon in the next season. We are winding down with Encounter Roleplay, which is where you can find me mostly. Half-Hour's Hermit is my dog whining in the background. And you can also see me on Cobalt Press with Lessons in Deep Magic, where I am emotionally torturing Savvy and other people. In this case, it's payback time, I guess. But I'm all over Encounter, all over the internet in various TTRPG games, a Monster Hearts game starting on Valdrian's channel in October. So keep an eye out if you want. And if you want to be part of this yourselves at some point, then please do join the Encounter Roleplay Discord. We have casting calls coming up over the next couple of weeks. Lessons of Deep Magic is, yes, it's good stuff. Dead Boy 42, I will gladly rave about that in a second, but for now we want to of course we want to get to Urban Shadows Eclipse, because they too have a finale coming up. So Savvy, if you want to take us out, we'll then move over to the other gang.
Absolutely. One more time, I'm Savvy at Savvy Seaworth on Twitter. You can find me when I'm not here on Cobalt Press with Lydia on Mondays, and then almost every other day on my home channel, twitch.tv/game nights. A bunch of these fools have been on it before and are on it regularly, so come hang out with us. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us, for watching. Thank you to my wonderful players for going on this probably most ridiculous journey that I have come up with so far. We are going to get out of the way so you can watch the finale of Eclipse. Thank you so much, and bye!